I want to talk about charging up your electronics in the field. This day and age of technology, we always carry something with us: cell phone, camera gear, GPS, and we got to have a way to charge those up. I've perfected my method over 2.5 years of trial and error, and I'd like to share it with you, maybe to give you some ideas on what you could do. But of course, we're going to put out the disclaimer. That's right. Make sure you do your research. Check out all these products. What I'll show you will be working for me, may not work for you, and there's probably a better product out there, and you never know. So make sure you do your research. Okay, let's get started. As you all know, I've been a very big fan of Goal Zero solar panel chargers, and this is the 7 watt, and I've upgraded from the 7, of course, to the 13. Great solar panels. One problem, they're a little bit heavy, and if you're starting to watch your weight there out in the field, you're going to want to change that up a little bit. And I had another problem with these I'll talk about in a little bit. A couple of other items I carry here in this little bag is my backup batteries, and this little guy right here, a little power on the go. And this is made by Tenergy, and we'll talk about it in a minute too. And of course, other batteries, such my camera gear batteries, backup cell phone batteries, and all the cables I need. So, let's start talking about these solar panels. They're great, but you really don't need them if you're going to be out a couple days. Now, if you're doing a through hike, these things work perfectly. But I ran into a little problem. So let's take a look at this one here real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you notice, if you get the Goal Zero solar panel, you have to get the Goal Zero Glide 10 Plus power pack. Great little pack, but I've had some problems with these little boogers. And let me get this one out of here, and I'll show you what's going on. Somehow, I've managed to burn these guys up. I don't know what has happened. This one, it'll charge up the batteries, the light will come on, but it will not do an output. None of these outputs work anymore, and I'm not sure what has happened to it. And another thing, as you know, that cell phones need more and more energy to charge up. This is having a hard time charging up my Note 3. And another problem, this one only lasted me a year, which was justifiable because it wasn't that big deal, because I figure a year out of electronics, yeah, you can't go wrong. So I went ahead and took this little guy apart. Problem with this one is the charge port burned out. So I was like, okay, so I'll charge the batteries up in this one with the big solar panel, no problem at all. And of course, now that didn't work, because then the output ports wouldn't work on it either, but the light would. So of course, I kind of took the little guy apart to see what made it tick. And there's really nothing in there that I know how to fix. So that's the one problem with these guys right here. Unfortunately, I had to go a different route. So, after talking to some people, I decided to upgrade to this little guy right here. This is a Tenergy. This is a 10,000 milliamp battery bank. And you can get roughly about 9, maybe 10 charges on your cell phone out of this, they say. Now, of course, it's got 2 little ports in here. It's got your 2 amp right here, and it's got your 1 amp. Make sure you check out your electronic devices and figure out which one you really need to use to be on the safe side. And you got your input port. Now, you can charge this at home on one of your phone chargers, no problem at all. And it does take quite a while to charge it up. And it does have issues in the wintertime charging up your cell phone. So if you want to charge your cell phone up, you want to put this little booger in your sleeping bag with you at night and charge your cell phone and camera. But it does have these little blue light indicators here, and it shows you there's 5 of them, and it shows you how much juice is in there. And as it starts going down, of course, you know you're running out of power. Really cool unit. Now, if I'm going to be out for some long distances in the field, I will take the 13 amp solar panel with me. And of course, we probably can't get anything out of her today because there's not much sun. Let's find out. Yeah, I'll be damned. We're getting a little bit of a juice out of it today. There's a little blue light on the back of this thing. It comes on when we're picking up sunlight. So what I do is take this little guy right here and find the appropriate mini USB cord for it. and that's probably not it as usual. And I got that in here, and I mark all these too, so I know what belongs to what. Like this one's for the GPS, we got one for the phone, and then one for my flashlight. We'll talk about that here in a minute. I think you'll find that interesting. So we're just going to plug this little guy in there. Then we're going to take on the back of the Nomad 13, is what we'll be using today for a demo, and I haven't tried this on the 7 yet. But of course it's got this little USB out port here. We're simply going to plug this little guy in here and attempt to start charging. Let's see how that goes. Now, I've never fully charged this unit up with the solar panel before, and this will be something I'll attempt come this winter time. So we'll put this little guy right here, and just from the little sunlight we got right now, we're starting to charge up the Tenergy. So we got that taken care of. Let's talk about some other things. The reason I got this is it can charge multiple units, such as the good old cell phone, and of course my GPS unit right here. And it's got all the little battery packs, or all the cables I got. So let's pull this next one out. We'll use that here in a minute. And this is the one I use for my GPS. And I'm going to put it in. Now I like to mark all my ports. My cell phone, I got a little silver line, that way you can find that little guy in the dark. And I already showed you I like to mark which is for my GPS units. And we'll plug the little GPS guy in and push the button, and boom, we are starting to charge. There we go. Okay, another thing that I've recently started doing is I had to justify buying batteries, and we're talking about flashlights now. I've started carrying flashlights that you can charge with a USB cable. And you're going to ask me why. Well, you got to sit there and think, how much are you going to use your flashlight out in the field? Now, I use this continuously, so I figure with the battery that's in there, you're going to get about maybe 3 to 5 years of use out of it. Maybe. So, with that, keeping that in mind, you got to figure out how many batteries you're going to use on a regular flashlight out in the field. And I justified paying $60 for this one. It would be a hell of a lot cheaper than buying batteries probably every 3 or 4 weeks and replace them in a flashlight. And this just charges up the same way, so we're going to pull this out, get that out of the way. I'm going to disconnect that for a minute. Take our cable here, and of course I've got this little guy marked LED flashlight, and this just simply unscrews. It's got an O-ring in there, keeps all the dirt and crap out of the flashlight, and I'll do a future video on this flashlight after a while. I'm still playing with it. Going to plug it into the 2 amp charge unit, and simply to get it charging, we just push that down, and boom, start to charge. Now when this is fully charged, that will turn blue. So that's one way to charge this flashlight up. Another thing, if I'm out in the field for a long period of time and I need to get some juice to this flashlight, instead of using that and draining all its battery power down, I'm simply just going to switch over to the solar panel and use it instead to charge my flashlight up during the day when I'm hiking, and it'll be ready to go at night. And if we got enough sun, and we do, got a little red light flashing, and it's charging off the solar panel. So let's do a quick summary of what I've discovered over the past couple of years. First of all, carrying the solar panels is a great idea if you're going to do a through hike, but they're a little bit heavy, and there are some advantages to it. Carrying the Tenergy just for overnight or 2 or 3 overnights, not a problem at all. It's a lot more lighter, and it charges up the same amount as a solar panel, because the solar panel can only charge one thing at a time. Unfortunately, and this is really depressing to me, the Goal Zero Glide Plus, 10 Plus, these things do not work as well as I thought they would. They work fine at the time, but I've noticed I'm only getting a year's use out of them before they fail, and I can't justify paying from anywhere from $48 to $50 for one of these when you can get one charge out of your cell phone, maybe. This here, the Tenergy, That's a good little unit. Another one to check out is the RAVPOWER. It's really good. But anything like this, it's going to run you about $50, $60. But then again, you got to justify, well, pay for this, it only charges one item, or pay for this, it can charge close to 9 or 10 times, depending on what you're charging up with it. So, that's a quick summary. So if I'm going to do a distance hike with more than a week, I will carry one solar panel, the Tenergy, and I'll be good to go. And I can charge up my phone, GPS, flashlight, and of course all the camera gear I'm using today. And I do carry a lot of camera gear. So, if you kind of took a look at what I'm using, I'd like to know what you're using, what your thoughts are on this. Is there a better product out there? I'd like to know. So, as always, comments are more than welcome. And like always, friends, thanks for watching. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and the phone is ringing. Hello? Who is this? Is this? Oh, dude, let me call you back, man. I'm in the middle of a video shoot, dude. Be a little bit, man. All right, brother. Important safety tip. When you're in the middle of the field doing a video shoot, turn your damn phone off. In fact, we're just going to go ahead and put this sucker on mute right now. Aha!